Hello, pregnant mamas. So, good morning. I have a wonderful birthing story to share with you that will uplift you during your pregnancy and prepare you for your baby's birth. So, bear with me. It may be a little long, but I really want you to feel the depth, the intention of this video, because I believe it will serve you greatly in the childbirth education classes you choose, and how you will approach birthing in a hospital or even at home or at a birth center. But this is a hospital birth, all natural, non-medicated hospital birth. And for those who don't know, my name is Angela Brown. I'm a birth doula, hypnobabies childbirth educator, and I want to share with you about my client's birth yesterday. What was her birth? It's like, what day is it? It's early in the morning, and this has been on my mind to talk with you guys because I've been really wanting to reach the mama, the pregnant mama, first time mom, or the moms who've had epidurals or C-section births, to reach you. That woman who doubts her ability to birth. Oh, I don't want to do it. It's too painful. I don't like pain. And I just, oh my God, birth is horrible. That's not true. Birth is how you believe it to be for you. There's another way to do it. There's another way to do it that is more peaceful, that is more calm. I've been a birth doula for over 17 years, and I've been teaching hypnobabies childbirth education for over 2 years. You have the ability to birth. The power that you choose to ignite during your pregnancy is up to you. Now, stay positive, keep an open mind, and let's flow with this story here. It's good. It's meaty. It's got some meat on the bones, y'all. All right, so first time mama, and her husband sought me out, hired me, and her birthing time started. She was maybe 10 days, quote, past her due date, something like that. Or you guys, I got to tell you, I've had like a birth a week. It's interesting, the sleep deprivation. So we get to the hospital, and she is about 2 centimeters, -1 station, and 90% of face. That's how thinned out the cervix is. Now, when I got to her at her home, she was already, the birthing waves were coming maybe 5 minutes apart, and I usually go around that time. And her waves are lasting about a minute, minute 15. A little bit of bloody show pink, but not as red as I'd like to have seen it. But she wanted to go to the hospital, so we get there, I don't know, time is such a blur, 9, 10 o'clock, not sure, so don't quote me on all these times. And that's when we found out her dilation. It was too early to admit her. We started walking around the hospital. She had her hypnobabies hypnosis tracks in her earbuds. Her sister came. I don't remember her telling me her sister would be there, but she probably did. I'm such an advocate for women having at their births people who truly support them, who can hold a vibration of truth, making the birth about the mama and not about themselves. So at one point we were walking around the labor and delivery floor. Her husband and sister were walking behind us, and my client stopped. And she said, "You guys, I need you guys to go sit in the waiting room. I want to just walk with Angela." And she said, "I love you. I love you. But I want to walk with Angela." Because they were chatting behind her. Now, when a mama is birthing naturally in a hospital setting, that talking, no go. No go. This is not an epidural birth. Ain't gonna be none of that chatty stuff going on, especially in the hospital. Because there's so many other distractions. People are walking the hallways. You're focused. You got hypnosis tracks going. She's trying to get this baby down and her dilation more. And she said to me, I asked them to leave because them walking behind me was making me nervous. Now, what every birth worker knows is that we don't need a birthing mama to be nervous and in fear, because that can stall and delay a baby coming out. And we needed her to open. And she didn't feel like she wanted to go home. And I had the feeling that once we got her back home, she was going to open it right away and we were going to come back to the hospital. So walked around about an hour or so or more. I can't remember, you guys. Went back to triage. And this hospital has a triage where it's not individual rooms. So you are in this room and there are other women, but there are curtains. So it gets loud in there. People are talking loud. I told my client, crank up those hypnosis tracks. So she did. And they checked her again, and she was 3 centimeters. Now, I'm not a fan of a woman knowing her dilation. And I let my clients know off the bat because I know what the mind will do. You know, her birthing time started at 7 p.m. the night before. And so here we are, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock the next day. And she's 3 centimeters. So you can go in your head and just be telling yourself all kind of stuff. All I kept saying was that you're doing great. That's all we were encouraging. You're doing great. She didn't need to know. If your intention is natural birth, stay with that intention. I told the nurse, I said, I think she needs to get into a room and she'll open up nicely. She needed to be in quiet. So she was still in triage. Me and her sister went over to the room and I got the lavender going. We're dimming the lights. We're adjusting the beds, putting up pictures for her to see. So she walks in and she can get with it. They put her on the monitor to just gauge her for 20 minutes. And then she says to me, she was sitting on the ball at this time. Understand, ladies, she was sitting on the ball, leaning over the bed with pillows. But while being monitored, you don't have to be in the bed to be monitored. She wanted to get off her feet. So they needed to draw some blood and all of that. And they did. But she said to me, remember when you told me about the little girl, that voice that can come into my head and tell me I can't do stuff? She said, she's getting louder now. So her inner child is now starting to talk to her and tell her, you crazy, you can't do this. So that's what was going on. I said, okay. I said, I hear you. And I said, but you can do this. I said, remember what I said. And I also told her, if the little girl shows up, she shows up in one or two ways. Either as a tantruming and birthing out of control and can't get their breath and start to hyperventilate. I can't do it. And just birthing in a lot of drama. And just that's one way the little girl shows up. Second way is that she shows up and she gets quiet. And she's in her negative mind telling herself all these things. She can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much. But never verbalizing it and just shutting down. And then just says, I just need something. Give me medication. Either she's loud or she's going to get quiet. But she's going to be a naysayer. And what you have to do, and what she did, I said, now you need to address her. Let her know that she's loved, that you understand she's scared, but that you are her elder self and that you've got her and that you appreciate her letting you know how she feels, but she has to go take a nap and that you've got her. And the warrior woman in you will handle all of this. So she did that. I began to read to her birth intention that she wrote when she hired me back in, January, February. And she birthed in May, birthed yesterday, the 21st of May, 2019. And so I started reading the birth intention. That started calming her, soothing her. She took the hypnosis tracks out to hear me read to her as I was playing for her the Hypnobabies background music, which is very soothing. So after that, got her back centered again. She felt more anchored. And got her in the tub. She wanted to birth, labor while in the tub. And she did. She was in that tub for a while. You guys had to be over an hour, I'm sure. And then we started hearing this, like a bearing down sense. But before I hear this bearing down, I was having a conversation with her sister. And I could tell her sister was a little, excited and anxious and stuff. And she said, well, She said, I'm just concerned about my sister. I said, well, how does she look to you? Does she seem like she's worried? She says, well, no. I said, she's doing good. She said, she looks strong. I said, yeah, she does look strong. I said, see, what happens is we can project what our birth experience was before onto another woman. And thinking at some point, well, my sister's going to clearly ask for an epidural, but she did not. And her sister had a medicalized birth. It was not a C-section. I'm grateful that she had this vaginal birth, her sister, that is. But we will look at other people and think, I don't know how they can do it, or they're so strong. Yes, the sister's strong. We're all strong. But her sister was using the techniques and tools and the principles she knew as an educated birthing woman, pregnant woman, birthing woman, to facilitate her in having her highest, best birth, which was a natural birth for her. So from the tub, she got out of there, went to the toilet, sat on the toilet backwards. What I do is have moms sit the opposite way on the toilet. I prop up her feet on yoga blocks or something. I improvised yesterday. And put pillows in front of her. So what happens is the feet are up high, or the knees are coming up high. That helps the perineum to open like this, you guys. And it's in this empty space. You know, the toilet just has that space down there. So when she's breathing down, the baby's coming down. And it's just a great way. And so she's leaning on the pillows, y'all. Hypnosis tracks were on the speaker. She was in heaven. We had the bathroom lights out and had some little candles lit. Perfect. So she's starting to feel more pushy on the toilet. And like I said earlier, she had her doubts and was questioning herself. And that voice was getting louder and louder that she couldn't do it. And I was able to help her see that she could do it by being affirmative and reading her own birth intention that I have all my clients write. After the toilet, we get to the bed, and she's laying on her side. We put that peanut ball between her legs. And now I'm guessing, when she was feeling pushy in the tub, the nurse came to check her. So remember I told y'all she's 2 centimeters. So this is probably a couple hours later. She was now 7. 7 centimeters, y'all. And probably 0 station. Got her to the bed. Now, who lays down at 7 centimeters? But she was tired. She had been sitting up and doing all the things that were helping her to dilate more. And then she's feeling pushy. She's now 8. We can tell by her sounds. And then really bearing down. And that Ferguson reflex, which is, it sounds like this. Like when a woman is breathing and that uterus is just, okay, baby, time to go. Squeezing on that baby. And that mama is pushing involuntarily. There's nothing that makes birth workers, doulas, happier than when a mama feels pushy. We get very, very happy. Very happy. So she was bearing down, doing great, you guys. Was on her side, pushing, and then holding her knees. And then she started owning it. She's like, come on, baby, we can do it. We've got this, baby. This is her dialogue now. She's verbalizing it. We've got this, baby. She was doing her hypno baby's cue words and words that were sending her hypno anesthesia all down in front of her, throughout her cervix and out in front of her baby's head. See, this is all we teach the mamas to do that. And then the midwife encouraged her. She said, you want to, try different positions. So she got on all fours, brought up the back of the head of the bed. So she was hanging down. Her hands were here on the back of the bed, the head of the bed. And then her butt was like in child's pose. But her upper body was up. Pushed that baby out on all fours, y'all. And then she reached down, brought that baby through her legs. And I'm telling you, best feeling ever when you see a mama just bring her baby to her heart. And I'm telling you, I'm taking pictures left and right. The husbands are he was just stunned. Tears in his eyes, could not speak. This man has been talking all day, y'all. That baby comes out, nothing. He don't have no words, nothing in the moment. A moment of joy. So mamas, hear me when I tell you, you can birth. You can birth. The power, the ability was already given to you by the divine. This divine creative intelligence, I call it birthing in alignment with your innate intelligence. You've got this. You're powerful. You're strong. Get the proper education during your pregnancy. Do the inner work. Do the inner work. Hire yourself a doula. Wherever you are in the world, get yourself a doula or get yourself a third person in the room who can hold sacred space for you as you birth forth your baby. And that person won't make the birth about them. They're going to make the birth about you and your well-being. So, that's what I just wanted to share, that you could do it and that my client had a phenomenal birth. And let me tell you, the birth last week as well, we got to the hospital. The other client was 1.5 centimeters, 80% of face. And I thought, oh, come on. But she doesn't know her dilation. And she births well too in about 6 to 7 hours of being at the hospital. See, the thing about hypnobabies is that it takes you to a place in your mind. You're in this deep state of hypnosis, even as you're walking around and talking. Which allows your body to do what it naturally knows to do at a different rate. Had these women not had the skill of learning how to put themselves in hypnosis as they birthed, the births could have potentially been 16, 20 hours or longer. I had a birth 3 weeks ago, 37 hours. That was a different situation. She was a hypnobaby's mom, but she ended up having a vaginal birth. But there had to be induction, and there were some things. But y'all, let me correct that. I was at the birth 37 hours. My client was in her birthing time, probably. Not everybody put light around yourself, because this don't have to be your birth. My client and her husband were probably 48, 50 hours. But I was with them 37 hours. I think I'm still asleep. I could be. So, you've got this, ladies. And the first time mama, you don't have to birth for 24, 12 hours. You can birth less than that. I mean, just do the work. Educate yourself. I suggest classes outside the hospital setting. You can do it. You can do it. Now, if you would like to know more about hypnobabies, please feel free to go to my website at DoulaLove'sCreation.com. If you would like doula services, contact me. I do travel. I travel throughout the U.S. If you like pregnancy life coaching sessions, then let me know. My name is Angela. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day and have an extraordinary birth. You can do this because there is an innate intelligence within you that knows how to birth. You just got to get your mind out the way. All right? Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day.